This could be awkward. Happy New Year. Oh, I hit my funny bone. What's the chances? What's the chances of that happening? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. All right, so here's the deal. I don't know why I feel so nervous to film myself because it feels like someone's in here judging me and I look absolutely ridiculous. I'm gonna act like this is totally normal to talk to a camera when I'm alone in a room. Weird. 2022. I don't know about you, but I sure am happy to get out of 2021. My name is Steven Goetzl. I am a nose itcher. I'm a music producer. I'm a recording artist. I'm a mixing engineer. Musician. I love all things music. I love all things creative. I want to start off the year in grand fashion for me, doing something I've always wanted to do. Knocking out a bucket list item. Yeah, that's peaking. Which is film a YouTube video home recording studio tour. You see that? That's what that means. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm a music producer, not a videographer. Haha, I'm winging this. I wonder if this is when people say, like, comment, subscribe, hit a notification bell. Right here, dude. I have no idea. Here we go. Ha! I am going to give you my background in 30 seconds. I've been recording and producing music for a long time. The game has changed. We now have more at our fingertips than ever before in the history of the world as artists, musicians, producers, absolutely ridiculously good-looking Italians. I'm just kidding. To produce high definition, high quality, commercial grade music in a home environment. Okay, so back in the day, I went to school for recording arts. Giant consoles, DigiDesign, Pro Tools 7 had just come out, and they were telling me as an 18-year-old, if you don't learn how to engineer like a $500,000 console, be fast in Pro Tools, that you will never have a future in the recording industry. I didn't believe it. I still don't believe it now. I figured there had to be a different way. With a little ingenuity, a ton of patience, but perseverance, I started off back in 2009 with like my first home recording studio. Okay, I had a hand-me-down of a hand-me-down laptop. I'm talking an old Toshiba, like a 1.4 gigahertz Intel Pentium 4 processor, maxed out, 2 gigs of RAM, and my very first DAW, and a used pair, like in the bargain section at Guitar Center, pair of Audio-Technica headphones. They were the M45s. I still have them. So, laptop, headphones, DAW. That was the birth of a studio for me. It was in the corner of a living room in a rental apartment. 13 years later, I've been blessed to have a nearly from the ground up build. I was able to convert a basement suite in a house that I own. I feel so blessed. I think there's unlimited information on how to build a home recording studio. That was always what I wanted to do, like how to build a home recording studio. I think that's been there, done that. For me, I really want to show it's your talent. It's really putting in your practice. It's the 10,000 hours and maybe even more, because all great records, the people that make them are obsessed with music. I think first and foremost, you have to be obsessed with music to try and be excellent at making it. Beyond that, you only need a few things. I've really dialed in my workflow to only use a few components that are really great so I can make outstanding quality music. Like the top level goal for me was if someone hears something that I've produced, without a doubt, no question, they're like, this was put out by a label and done in a commercial studio. If I can pull that off, if I can compete with other records that are recorded and produced and engineered in commercial studios, for me, I'm winning. So really what it comes down to is knowing how to use your gear properly and to the extent of its capability. Let's get down to it. Here's what I'm using to make music that I feel good about right now. Starting off, the brains. I'm running a 2020 Mac Mini. I've always wanted to talk about Mac versus PC. Here's the thing. Can you make music with both an Apple and a PC? Yes. Will the quality be the same? Yeah, I can speak to both. Down there, I built a total custom PC from the ground up. It rocked and it rolled. And I thought that it was the coolest thing ever. I named it Megatron. Megatron ran sessions for me for 8 years. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, did I spend a lot of time in the studio troubleshooting instead of creating and producing music. Controversial. It's okay. I can say it. It's my experience. I waited a really long time to get an Apple because they are expensive. With everything in this art form and all the tools that we use, you get what you pay for. The intentional architecture and integration of their hardware and their software is harmonious. I wonder how deep I should go into this. There's a reason why all these people that are full-time producers and musicians use and trust Mac architecture, because it just works. The machine is never slowing down your creativity. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. PCs, Windows, they're good for a lot of things. For the creation of music and music production, Apple's nailed it, man. And this late in the game, for me, when I have artists coming in, they're not going to wait for me to troubleshoot issues that my system is having. You always want to make sure you have as much RAM as possible that you can afford. And you want to have multiple hard drives. You want to have backups, because we are using machines, and all machines have a shelf life. So back up your sessions. I use 3 drives. I use a primary ultra-fast M.2 PCIe Express slot to run my sessions. I have an external SSD that manages and stores and archives and organizes my sessions. And then I also have a giant drive to just back up sessions. I'd recommend you do the same. Now, well, what does he use to get sound into the computer? Oh, the interface game is different now than it was a decade ago. Boy, oh boy, was I excited. In 2020, SSL broke into the home recording game and came out with their line of interfaces. The SSL2, the conversion is pristine. The sound stage is huge. And the preamps, it's outstanding, and latency is virtually a non-issue. That's a win. I just need to create and not have the gear slow it down. I am monitoring on HS7s. They're great. I can trust them. Monitoring is a tricky thing. You know how to make your monitors sound even better? Decouple them as much as possible from any surfaces in the room. Completely have them isolated. I've built custom monitoring stands, and they're filled like base to like 7/8 full of sand to really absorb and eat up any reflection or transfer. Ooh, that's a pun. On top of that, I'm using the RLX Mopads. Triple decoupling. Three's a charm. I have
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
like 10 large broadband absorption panels that I built with Rockwell. I have right here behind my listening spot, I have a diffusion panel. It's a diffusion absorption panel. It's real nice. It's the one with the wood, you know. I built it. And then I also built an enormous, like a 12x7 cloud above me. And I'm using Producer's Choice acoustic blankets from the company Vocal Booth to Go. In addition, my room is tuned with SonarWorks, DAW. So you learned on Pro Tools, huh? Man, this is gonna be even more controversial than Mac and PC. I'm running Cubase Pro 11, just like Hans Zimmer. It works for me. It's musician friendly. It's producer friendly. It's mix engineer friendly. And it just works. That's a big thing. I need to move fast. Cubase is a beast. Ooh, now I get to talk about my MIDI controller. It is an OG special edition red M Audio Axiom 49. My moms and pops got it for me as a gift back in like 2009. It still works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm not the best player in the world. Sometimes you just need keys to get your ideas down. You know what I'm saying? It's always worked. It's reliable. Done deal. I just, for my birthday, treated myself to a nice little upgrade. I looked it up. Kensington Expert Mouse wireless trackball. It's a Bluetooth connectivity. It's seamless. It's instant. It's real nice like. Literally, I can make a video about every specific piece of gear that I have chose to use up until this point and why I continue to use it. Shall we talk mics? My daily driver is a Rode NT1A, enclosed in the SE Electronics reflection filter, special edition red. Okay, here's the deal. Certain microphones work best for certain instruments. Your voice is an instrument. For me, I want something transparent and clean and doesn't so much alter or affect signal incoming. I prefer to do that in post. Late 2021, I was also super blessed and I was able to make the studio a bit more jiggy and did like giant floating tapestries. I was inspired off of Ocean Way Studios, JJP's studio in Ocean Way. I also have a bunch of LED fairy lights, kind of like set the vibe, makes it all starry above me. You gotta feel good. I also use a lot of like smart lighting, all LEDs. So if I'm feeling a certain color, I go in and do a certain color. Today it's different kinds of purples because it's New Year's. So this setup has just been a total blessing. This is what I use to have a lot of fun and make commercially competitive music. A lot of this is practice, and then some more of it is practice, and then a lot more of it is practice. You have to get good with what you have, and ultimately that's going to make your music better. I wonder if anyone that doesn't yet know me will be like, hey man, what kind of music do you make? I'm like, oh, thanks for asking. Hip hop. Christian hip hop. I'm a hip hop man. If you don't know, I can help change that. I have been able to work with some incredible people. I hope to continue to work with some incredible people. Happy New Year. I hope everybody has a safe and blessed 2022. God bless you guys. Hit me up. Peace.